Good afternoon. It is Monday, August 14th. You're watching NewsNation Now. I'm Nichole Berlie. And right now, the people of Maui are sifting through the charred remains of their homes and their businesses. It's been nearly a week since relentless wildfires burned much of that island. Crews working to restore critical infrastructure right now, things like power, water, cell service, as recovery efforts continue day in and day out. So far, we know 96 people are confirmed dead, making the Lahaina fire the deadliest the U.S. has seen in over a century, and the death toll is sadly expected to rise. David Charnes from our Las Vegas affiliate is there live on Maui. David, we see the video there. Tell us what you are seeing with your own eyes.
Well, Nichole, we're just seeing and hearing these stories of recovery and people who are helping each other. Neighbor helping neighbor is sort of how we're putting it here. There is just this huge community effort here, so much so that I think we're starting to get past those first couple days of grief and starting to get into this sense of anger because people really want to help, but they're just not being allowed into that area of Lahaina to help out. If you're unfamiliar with the geography here, Lahaina is on the western side of the island, and it's not super easy to get to. Right now, the road on that side of the island is just one way for people to get in with supplies and people to get out. But you have to be a volunteer or you have to live there. And some people say they are being turned away. But Nichole, I think a really important thing to tell everyone today is that there is hope out here. We've met several people who've introduced us to other people. And I was texting with one of them this morning, and there was a young man who had believed his whole family was gone in this fire. He was at work on another side of the island. His family was home in Lahaina. He didn't know where they were. And today he found his parents. So those are the kind of stories that we're hearing. You mentioned almost a week later, and there is hope here, and people do have hope.
So important to hear those stories of hope there, David. You mentioned the fact that there's anger, that there are people angry that they're not being allowed into the zones there where the worst of the fire hit. Is there also anger, though, when it comes to how this all unfolded, how it was handled, and specifically the warning system when this started?
Right, so we're on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Obviously, there are warning systems for earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, that kind of thing. People here say there was no siren that went off. There was a warning earlier in the day because there were these fires burning. They obviously don't just, start out of nowhere, but there were these fires burning. But there are a lot of people asking now, why were these power lines charged? Possibly, maybe that started the fire. People are speculating right now. Why were their power lines charged in 70 to 80 mile per hour winds? And if we were told these fires were contained earlier in the day, how did it spread? The governor coming out yesterday basically saying, yeah, there was no warning, there was no time for a warning, and the fire was spreading at a mile a minute, so there was no way to get the word out. He also sort of clarified that when they said the fires were contained, that doesn't mean necessarily that the fires are out. And some people here saying, well, we just want to know what happened, and many people just want to move forward at this point.
All right, David Charnes reporting live for us there on the island of Maui. David, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.